Hey guys, Matthias from Aerobics First here. So today we're going to continue talking about some beginner tips for learning to run and walk. Over the last year we've had lots of people new to running and walking and lots of great questions involved. So today we're going to talk a little bit about different types of shoes, some of the terms involved, and what you might want to keep in mind when looking at getting a new shoe. So, two of the common types of shoes or categories of shoes that you'll hear about are neutral shoes and stability shoes. So what's the difference? These, from the outside look pretty similar. When you turn them to the inner side of the shoe, you'll notice a pretty key difference. So we'll start with stability shoes. So stability shoes, they come in a couple different flavors, but the main thing to know is that they tend to have some sort of strengthening piece or device, typically called a medial post, built into the inner edge of the shoe. Runs about here on the inside edge, usually called out with a darker color. So what that does is, if you have a foot that overpronates too far or rolls in too far, and we want to help a little bit with that, that's basically when that inner edge of the shoe will help hold the foot a little bit better long term. So that brings us to a neutral shoe. A neutral shoe basically just doesn't have that stabilizing piece on the inner edge of the midsole. So really the way to think about it is it's just a nice flat, even mattress underfoot that is fairly balanced from side to side. So that's a neutral instability shoe. From there, another key term that we're often hearing about is stack height and heel to toe drop. So the stack height of the shoe is essentially how much cushion is underneath your foot in what's called the midsole of the shoe. So typically most shoes will fall into either a low stack, a medium stack, or a high stack shoe. So this here would be an example of a low stack shoe, and really thin cushioning and super flexible, tends to be a little bit firmer, and a shoe that will allow you to feel the ground a little bit better. From there, we have an example of a high stack shoe. So really thick plush cushion here, really well protected and smooth feeling underfoot. So not as much proprioception and ground feel, but tons of cushion and protection. The interesting thing with both of these shoes is they have the same heel to toe drop. So what's heel to toe drop? Essentially it is the difference in a stack height measurement at the heel and at the ball of the foot. So essentially the ramp angle of that shoe. So these both have a 4 millimeter heel to toe drop compared to this one, which has an 8 millimeter heel to toe drop, and then this one, which has a 10 millimeter heel to toe drop. So depending on how you run, the level of cushion and protection you're looking for, and how your foot contacts the ground, your running posture, your form, that will all play into what kind of stack height, what kind of heel to toe drop, and ultimately whether a neutral or stability shoe. So as a beginner runner, it's important to maybe play around with a couple different pairs as you go and see what works and feels best for you, and of course ideally head into your local running retailer and get properly fitted, where they'll allow you to try a couple different shoes and see what might work best for you. So thanks for tuning in. Any questions, jump in the comments down below and we'll do our best to answer them. Thanks so much.